All right, so looking at our study guide today, we have a couple of questions, and I want us to make sure we go through the vocabulary together. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a list of definitions. So if you'll look on the screen right now, you should see a bunch of different definitions. All right, what's the first word that we're looking at? Number 1, it says statistics. Which one of these definitions would go with statistics? Raise your hand if you can look at those definitions. They're all kind of different colors, so they're easy to find. Which definition would go with statistics up on the board? Julia? Jakaria?
A branch of mathematics.
A branch of mathematics. So a branch of mathematics, that's going to be statistics, number 1. All right, so you're going to write down for number 1, a branch of mathematics. All right, now guys, these aren't the full definitions. These are just words that I want you to look for on the quiz in those definitions. I tried to make it shorter so you can just find like key things that we're looking for. All right, what's number 2 say? Data. Number 2 says data. RJ, which one of these is data? Information. So number 2 is information. Okay? Information. Number 3 says statistical question. Which one of these would be a statistical question? Easton? Has a variety of answers. If it's a question, it has to have answers. So that should be an easy definition to hopefully fill in because it says answers. So that was number 3. Number 3. I'm going to give you a minute to write that one down. It's a little bit longer. Looks like most of us are done. Central tendency. Which one of these words, which one of these definitions would describe central tendency? Which one describes central tendency? Mary Webb? Measures the center. Do y'all see how central tendency is going to match up with center? So measures the center would be number 4. Measures the center would be number 4. Okay. Right. The mean. What's going to go with the mean? Mason.
The sum divided by how many numbers?
The sum divided by how many numbers? Now this one, I think this is a little tricky. When it uses the word sum, we have to know what that means. What does the word sum mean? Julia? Yeah, so when you see the word sum, hopefully we remember that that means that we're adding and then dividing by the numbers, which was the mean, number 5. All right, let's see what's going to be next. Make sure everyone has had a chance to write that down. All right, my median. What's my median? Braden Bulgar.
Middle number.
The middle number. Median is the middle number. So right here, that's going to be number 6. The middle number, number 6. Okay. Number 7 says the mode. Which one is the mode? Morgan? The mode. Which of those definitions? The one that appears the most. Mode and most. All right, so the mode is the one that appears the most. And that was number 7. Appears the most. Okay. Number 8 says range. What's the range going to be? Braden Rubino? The difference between greatest and least. What operation does it mean when it says difference? Julia? Subtraction. So right here, we also know this is the range because it's talking about the biggest and the smallest. So this is going to be number 8, my range. Okay? All right, number 9 is actually a new word, and we're going to look at 2 charts on the back where we're going to use this. Number 9 is a new word. It says attribute. Well, obviously, what are we going to say the attribute is? Yeah. So number 9 is what this part that's left. So number 9 is what the data is about. All right, guys, I want to use an example of this word in a regular sentence. All right. So attribute is a noun. Attribute is what your chart is talking about. Another version of this word is the word attribute. So, for example, I attribute your math grade to the amount of work you put in, which means the reason for your math grade is the amount of work you put in. Typically, that's true. All right? I would attribute the large number of can donations to our generous spirit in the students. The reason we had a lot of cans is because our students have a very generous spirit. Okay? So the word attribute means the reason. The noun attribute means what your data is talking about. Are we okay with that? All right. Let's move on down. I'm going to clear these definitions out. Do we got all these copies? All right. Let's look back at our study guide, at our review sheet. All right, moving down the review sheet. All right, on number 10, guys, this is what we practiced a lot yesterday. We're doing the mean. I'm going to do number 10 with you, and then you're going to do 11 on your own. It has these 3 different examples for you to do. But we're going to look at 10 together. For number 10, to find the mean, what do I need to do? Julia? Add all my numbers. Guys, am I adding 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? No, this is the race number, but the actual time, the actual data is this side. So I'm going to add up those numbers. Raise your hand if you can tell me what we get once you add them. What do we get when we add up our numbers over here in this column? Gabriella? 50. And after I add them, what do we need to do? Divide. What am I dividing by, Julia? 5. There's 5 numbers, so I'm dividing by 5. 50 divided by 5, what do I get the mean is? Peyton? 10. So my mean is 10. I need to find the median, which we already wrote down as the middle number. So am I going to say 9.8 is the median? Why can I not just say 9.8 is the median? Jessica? We need to mark out the numbers. There's another reason I can't just say 9.8 is the median. Keegan? Yeah, just because it's in the middle doesn't mean it's the middle number. What do I need to do first, Keegan? Put them in order. So my smallest number here is 9.2. Then we have 9.8. So I got those 2. Then we have 10 would be next because it doesn't have a decimal. Then 10.1 and then 10.9. Okay? So now what number is in the middle? 10. So my median is 10. All right, what's my mode? Raise your hand. What's my mode? What do you think, Gabby? What's my mode here? What number is there the most? None. All of the numbers are only there once. So I'm just going to write no mode. All right, and then the range. How am I going to figure out my range? Mary Webb.
You're going to subtract 10.9 minus 9.2.
10.9 minus 9.2. And when I calculate that, I get 1.7. All right. I'm going to let you do number 11. That's only one problem. I know it's 3 parts, but as you can see, we kind of did that quickly because you're not having to write out as much since I've already labeled mean, median, mode, range. All right, flip your paper over for me. All right, we've got some typos we need to fix. For real quick, here it says, tell whether each question is statistical or non-statistical. So instead of writing yes or no, you're going to write out the word statistical, or you're going to write out the word non-statistical. Remember, if it has a lot of answers, it's statistical. If it only has one answer, it's non. I want us to fix my typo real quick. This says, what is the favorite color of students RTSGC? That sentence does not make sense. All right, so it should say, what are the favorite colors of the students at TMS? So TSGC, that was last year we were Thompson 6th grade center, but today we are all Thompson Middle School. All right. And then the next one is, how many classes does each student at, we're going to change this to TMS, take. All right. I would just remember, guys, all of us have the same bell schedule, so we all probably take the same number of classes. All right. I am going to send out the answers tonight. Make sure you check those. I'll send a picture out. It'll be on my website. It'll also be on Remind. All right. I want us to look at number 15. Number 15. It's going to be really important that we take a moment to look at this together. Number 15 is asking us to figure out the attribute, the unit of measure, the means of measure, and the number of observations. Attribute. What did we say that was on the front? Does anyone remember? Flip your paper over if you need to. RJ, what does it say the attribute is?
What the data is about.
What the data is about. What is my data about in this chart? What is it talking about? Noah? The pet weight. So my attribute here is the pet weight. Okay. The unit of measure. We talked about units a lot this year. Feet, miles, meters, inches, seconds, hours. What's my unit here going to be? Kelsey? What's my unit of measure? What's my measurement? For how much the pet weighs. How am I measuring that? All right, now I'm going to get you. Help me out. Pounds. Josie, where it says pet weighs and it's weighing it in pounds, not grams. All right, but we're weighing the pet in pounds. So you can even write just LBS. Okay. All right, this one is tricky. You've really got to think. So this is like putting it into real world. The means of measure, guys. How am I going to measure a pet? What tool am I going to use to measure the pets? Like if you go to the vet and they're going to ask you how much your cat or dog weighs and they're going to measure it. How would they find that measurement? Frank? A scale. They're going to use a scale. Okay. All right, in fact, cat scales are kind of cute because they're like a little basket that they put them in. Anyways, okay. All right, last one says number of observations. All right, that one doesn't really need a whole lot of explanation. What is the number of observations? What do you, not 5? 10. How are we getting 10? Raise your hand again and tell me, why is it 10? Peyton? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I weighed a pet 10 times. So my number of observations is 10. All right, guys. I want you to try number 16. You'll notice it's talking about serving volume. What is it that we're serving? Lettuce, cheese, sauce, soup, ice cream. We're serving food. All right? So when it talks about the attribute, you're still talking about what the chart's label is. But I want you to think about that means of measure. All right? What tool in the kitchen, and you might need to ask your parents, talk to your parents about this. What will you use in the kitchen to measure cups? All right? And you're going to write that in the blank. If you need some help with that, I want you to talk to your parents. I'll send out the answers so you can check the answers online. All right? But I want you to try to think about, if I needed to measure cheese in my kitchen, what would I use to measure out cups? And if you need some help, that's something that I guarantee you your parents can help you, even if they're not a fan of math. All right? Unfortunately, as an adult, we are responsible for cooking. I'm not the best at it. All right? So, guys, That gives you a good start. I want you finishing the rest of the problems. We're grading this tomorrow. All right? We're grading it tomorrow, and I'm sending out the answers.